What's going on, YouTube? This is Jarrell Flint, author of the book Holdback, the Consumer's Playbook for Buying a Car. Back with another video, another installment of understanding the numbers, but this one isn't going to be a real pencil. This is what you call a new car gross sheet. This is something that you'll never see. Dealerships would never want you to see this, but you know, I got it for you. Matter of fact, I got two that I'm going to show you. But again, before I get into it, don't forget, Hold Back the Consumer's Playbook for Buying a Car is available on the iBook store for free right now through the summer. I'm trying to give 1,000,000 copies of that away, 1,000,000 downloads. I'm canceling the print version of the book because let's face it, you're not going to carry a book around with you on how to buy a car, but you carry your phone everywhere with you. So in the event you do go shopping, bam, you can pull up the information and reference it. For my Kindle users, I'm still working on getting it to you. I haven't forgot about you because I know everybody doesn't rock with an iPhone or an iPad. So it'll be in the Kindle store soon. If I can't get it in there, I'll just make a Dropbox link or something like that, and we'll get you the downloads that way where you can load it on your Kindle. So let's go ahead and get right into this. So hold back. It's for new cars, not for used cars. And hold back, for those that don't know, it is profit that the dealership is able to protect. So what does that mean? Let's take a look at the price of this car, $33,168. Let's just assume, for the sake of argument, the invoice price on this car is $25,000, right? If the dealership sells you the car at invoice, or if anybody sells you something at invoice, typically is what they paid for it, right? With when holdback comes into play, at least in the car business, this particular dealership or any dealership could sell you this car at invoice 25,000, but let's just say holdback is 20,000. That means they would still make $5,000 on the sale. Now, that wouldn't be pure profit because, of course, you have to pay the salesperson their commission. You have to pay the finance person. You have to pay your people in the back end service that fix the cars, the people that answer the phone. So, it wouldn't be pure profit because it has to be divvied up. But that's why, of course, they want to make their gross. So they want to make money on top of invoice because that's additional profit. Now, the way the business is these days, and if you check out the True Car walkthrough video that I did, new cars, regardless of the manufacturer, it's all about volume, which brings me to my next point. A lot of people think holdback is based on a fixed percentage from brand to brand. So some people will say, X brand has 7% holdback, or this brand has 12%. Not necessarily the case. It fluctuates from dealership to dealership because if you have a dealership that's hitting its volume goals and hitting its gross goals, the manufacturer will say, well, you know what? We're going to increase your holdback percentage based on your performance. So if that happens, well, now the dealership has more holdback money to play with. So in turn, they can sell additional cars at, let's say, quote unquote, invoice to push the car out, right? Because they're going to get kicked back anyway on the back end from the manufacturer. So, and I named the book Holdback, partly because holdback is to a certain extent the backbone of the new car business, if you will. But that's neither here nor there. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Enough of the history of it. So this car, 33,168. We're not really going to get into any of this stuff on the left-hand side because it really doesn't matter. This is just internal stuff, the cleaning fee, tax, tag frames. This is just internal dealership stuff. Money that they spent getting the car ready to get out to the lot. So we're not really even going to worry about that. Bonus cash is something from the manufacturer. So, it's like incentivize things to where the manufacturer will take money off the car. So we're not going to worry about that, right? So there was a trade involved, allowance, actual cash value. So we're not even going to worry about that. This line, these two line boxes here is what we're going to focus on. And I went too far. So this car lost $564.50, right? However, HB, I'll give you a wild guess as to what that stands for. You got it. It stands for holdback. I know y'all knew that. So even though the car lost $564, this was the holdback amount. So after you do your math, they were still in the positive there. Okay, so that's kind of how it works, right? Let me show you the other one that I have here. Same situation, a little bit more expensive car, right? 47,031 inventory cost here. So for the sake, we'll break this one down. This was the selling price, right? This was more than likely the invoice cost, right? Inventory cost. So then you had your packs, you had all that good stuff. So total vehicle cost to the dealership, right? Transportation. They had to go get this car from another dealership. So if you see a blue car and it doesn't have a sunroof and you want one with a sunroof and they got to go to another state to get it, the dealership that wants the car has to pay for the transportation. They have to pay for the transportation to take their car down there and the transportation to bring the one you want. So that's what this is, right? So all those line items, again, another trade, offered 14.5 for it. So don't even need to worry about that. Car lost $761. But look how much more this one is than the last one. Look at the holdback, right? So $2,200. So if you do the math, still came out in the positive. Now, just a disclaimer, dealerships aren't really going to negotiate into the holdback, so I wouldn't really recommend bringing it up in your negotiations, because it's kind of futile. They're not really going to do that. And again, it's all about profit, fair profit, things like that. So I mean, I get it. You want to get the lowest price possible, but check out the True Car video on the new cars. That's a good way to get to a good starting point. But do your research on what the invoice is, things like that. You can guesstimate what holdback is, but if you're able to get the car close to invoice or maybe even 1,000 or two below invoice, because dealerships will do that, manufacturers will do that, especially at the end of the month, then you've done your due diligence, because a lot of people will start at the MSRP, not the inventory cost, the MSRP, because I'm willing to bet this car was $54,000, right? So whoever this was, they did pretty well. So again, pretty self-explanatory. You're never going to see anything like this, but I just wanted to do this video just to kind of break it down, a little bit of education as far as to how the dealership side of things, how they make their money. Because how many times have you seen a dealership go out of business? Really think about that. How many times have you seen a car dealership go out of business? It don't happen. Even if you think about the buy here, pay here's in whatever, strip of town in your city, they don't go out of business. Have you ever thought about why that is? The car business is a lucrative business. The game is set up where they make money by selling these cars. So whether it's on a smaller scale or it's a large scale dealership, they're going to make their money. So you as the consumer, you just need to educate yourself on the the business aspect and know how to get the price down, because it's not done by walking in there and hammering it out. That's not how it's done. It takes patience, it takes know-how, and you have to know the math, and you have to know where you're getting your numbers from, right? So that's what this whole holdback, book, this whole brand, these YouTube channels, that's what all this is about, is to empower you, the consumer. Again, this is my community service work. This is what I feel like I'm doing to empower the people. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comment section. Again, don't forget to download the book. Go check that out. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And this is Jarrell Flint. Thank you for tuning in. Check out the other videos. And I will talk to y'all on the next one. Peace and love.